All right, here we go. It's probably gonna be pretty short. I'm starting the WarGames videos, movies from 1983 to 85, kinda. WarGames, Brainstorm, Back to the Future. We're starting in on these, and I'm gonna have to break it up into multiple parts because it's hard to manage. And I'm also gonna have to stop, just cut it at some point because I knew I would find some stuff like about Lasker and Parks in these movies, but I didn't think I would find this much stuff. It's just endless. It's the endless rabbit holes. So, but I'm gonna try and show you enough. You can't go past a certain point anyway. It becomes pointless because in our research, there's like a base level that we're allowed to access through normal means like internet research. And you hit the same names, families, the Stone Fellows, Rock Fellows, Kissinger, Soros, the banking families. You hit these same names, and obviously that is not the true controlling entity, but that's as far as we're really allowed to go. So this is going to be the first part of the WarGames videos, where I'm not even really going to go into the movie yet in this one. This one's going to be mostly about, we're going to start looking at Lasker and Parks. Sometimes the Lodge really does call it in. Who is Lawrence Lasker?
Shall we play a game?
Actually, first, we're going to do a couple side notes. I'm going to do the fading back, the fractal reality, looking back down the hall of mirrors at myself. The Guided by Voices video. The Guided by Voices decode video. God bless the Pine Club. My wife sent me this clip. I couldn't fucking believe it. I almost fell off my chair. Which is funny because that's what the video description says also. Just listen to this clip. I've never seen or heard of this show. Apparently it's called the IT crowd. To me, that's the TI crowd. TI. Watch this fucking clip. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I remember. You were going to tell me what IT means. Right.
What TI means.
I don't know what it means, all right? I never thought to... It didn't really affect me, as I'm too busy managing one man whose idea of an adult night out is Laser Quest followed by pornography.
I'm too busy managing one man, and then she'll say, and another man. Like GS's, like perps. I'm responsible for managing one man. And I'm not going to go into this topic at all, really, too much, because it's not good to put your attention on it. But I couldn't believe this video.
Of an adult night out is Laser Quest followed by pornography. And another who collects wires. Have you heard Guided by Voices? They're a band.
No.
I have. I've heard everything they've ever done. They're good. I'm a bit of a fan now.
Isn't that good?
I shouldn't even know who they are. They've turned me into one of them. I am one of them. That's why you need me. I am your conduit. I am your bridge. Ich bin ein Nerd.
Wow, what? So I am hearing this as if she's speaking as the screen. I shouldn't even know who they are. Yeah, like, why is that band on this TV show? Like, that's not a band that should be on TV. I shouldn't even know who they are. The screen shouldn't be mentioning them. That's why you need me. That's the screen talking to us, because I'm a conduit, a bridge, a conduit of like information, truth drops, clues, whatever. And then she says the German thing, which is strange. It reminds me very much of like Bavarian Illuminati shit. Uweech, Schlangenkraft. Shit like that. Nerd. Like CERN, maybe. The D. One letter off of the C. NERC. CERN. And then, I don't know, maybe I'm tripping, but this seems strange to me too. The channel that this is from, first look at the views. It's got 115,511 views. The channel only has 61 subscribers. That's so many fucking views. That's like more views than like actual Guided by Voices songs have. I said the same thing as this description. Okay, so I fell off my chair at this week's reference. It's like the show is being written for my benefit, really. From the ITTI crowd. And look at this. I shouldn't have hit it. It says 912 likes. But yeah, obviously I hit it. Before I hit the like button, it was 911 likes. I've been meaning to do one of these pictures for a while. I think I've put it on Twitter a long time ago, but this one was just perfect. I was behind the other day because they all have the lights. See, the two tail lights are downward pointing pentagrams. But this one was number 18 also. So it's perfect. 666, 18. Then look at the two brake lights that are lit up. 3 rows of 6 lights. The 2 pentagrams, the 18, and each brake light, 3 rows of 6. Look at the newspaper real quick. The newspaper, I haven't seen the newspaper reporting news in years. All it just blatantly is just an opinion giver now. Just tells you what to think. They're setting up like Civil War, pushing Civil War. Distrust at the ballot box. The year's losers may not concede. Their voters won't either. How the fuck do you know? You know the future? Their voters won't either. Yes, sir. Thank you for my instructions. What is the biggest threat to keeping our election safe and accurate? Misleading information. That's you. That's me. American capitalism. Improve it or lose it? 44% of all U.S. workers 18 to 64 hold low-wage jobs with the median hourly wages of $10.22. How can you live? You can't live on that. That's a total of 53 million people struggling to make ends meet. What's more, 15 to 20% of men, 25 to 54, are absent from the workforce. So half make $10 an hour. Another quarter are unemployed. That's what I don't understand. Like, I was talking to someone I work with, and they were telling them their tax person or someone was telling them they're in the top 1% or top 3% or something income bracket at like 60 grand a year or something like that. And he was talking to me like, dude, I don't understand how I struggle. I'm always behind on my bills. Like, I struggle to pay the mortgage, etc. Who lives in all these huge houses everywhere? These mansions, McMansions and real mansions everywhere. And they just keep building more of them. Like, if I can barely afford my little bungalow and I'm in the top 3%, then who the fuck is buying all these houses? 70% of millennials, who represent the largest generational segment of the U.S. population at 75 million people, were likely to vote for a socialist candidate. They're just telling you. Okay, you understand? Are you this age group? You will vote for a socialist candidate. Do you understand? Yes, sir, I understand. All the way at the end. To save American free market capitalism in the 2020s, many business and government leaders, appeal to authority, have begun to call attention to our system's flaws. It's time to work together to improve the system, not abandon it. Hey, the system's good. It's not a bad system. It's just a couple things wrong. We can fix it. A few bad apples, that's all. We're on the edge of disaster. Now what? You could fucking look at the news any time in the last 20 years, 50 years, whatever. We're always right on the edge of disaster. You could walk away, not see any news, TV. You could go live under a rock and eat moss for 20 years. Come back, you'll be at exactly the same point. Right on the razor's edge. The precipice of disaster. Also, look at this picture. Reminds me of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy when they're building the Earth.
Welcome to our factory floor.
Look how similar this looks to the picture in the newspaper.
That's great.
The lift, the guy
They
painting.
finished the oceans. When you say mice, do you mean the little furry white creatures with whiskers, ears, cheese? Yeah, but
Also in the newspaper, look, these things remind me of skin cells. The desert ground, the cracked earth. Like skin cells, those basalt columns, like Giant's Causeway. I don't have a picture for that, though.
they're intrusions into our dimension of hyper-intelligent pan-dimensional beings. I mean, I don't know this cheese of which you speak, but they're intrusions into our dimension of hyper-intelligent pan-dimensional beings. I mean, they were there on Earth as mice experimenting on you. They were there on Earth as mice experimenting on you, which you speak, but they were there on Earth as mice experimenting on you. No. Well, yeah, no. I gather that's what they wanted you to think, that you were actually elements in their computer program. Actually, this explains a lot, you know. All my life, I've had this strange feeling that there's something big and sinister going on in the world. No, that's perfectly normal paranoia. Everyone in the universe gets that. Old and tired, but I think that the chances of finding out what's actually going on are so absurdly remote that the only thing to do is to say, hang the sense of it and keep yourself busy. I'd much rather be happy than right any day. And are you? Where it all falls down, of course. I'd much rather be happy than right any day. And are you? No. Well, that's where it all falls down.
If you're always right, you never learn anything. That's what I say. But look, it's interesting because it looks, I think it's like Isle of Wight or something, these white cliffs in England. But it looks like the ice wall. I'd rather be happy than right any day. Well, are you? No. This is where it all falls down. This is where it all falls apart. Right when they go past the ice wall. Like, if you see that, that's where the whole story falls apart. What?
Of course. I'd much rather be happy than right any day. And are you? Where it all falls down, of course. I'd much rather be happy than right any day. And are you? No. Well, that's where it all falls down, of course.
And then we got our little graphic down here. of temperature change, and of course it only the source is NASA, NOAA, and it only goes back to 1880. Nothing exists before 1880. No hard data, no real history before around mid 1800s. It looks like. Check out my cat. Have you ever seen a cat do this? It's the coolest cat. He always responds to his name. Seems like he really knows what I'm saying. He's super affectionate and stuff. But watch this. Tell me if you've ever seen a cat do this.
Bring it back. Bring it back. Good boy. That's good boy.
Do it again.
Good boy. Good boy.
Have you ever seen a cat play fetch before? I don't know. Maybe they do, but I've never seen it. I've never seen it before. My cat's special. Okay, I'm not actually going to get into the movie too much in this video, but like I said in the last video, it's used to prepare for the internet. Fear, oh my god, and nuke scare. Oh, everyone in the world wants to kill us. We need a huge government and a military to protect us. Everyone in the world wants to kill us with nukes. Oh, the internet, we don't know what it is yet, but it's dangerous. Any kid could set off a nuclear war. A hacker could break into the military. It's dangerous. It needs to be controlled before anyone had ever been on the internet. Okay, so WarGames was nominated for 3 Academy Awards. Nominated for Best Writing Screenplay, Lasker and Parks. At the bottom of accolades. It was all top-notch graphics at the time. They had all the best stuff. Like, I forget if they got special shit from NASA or whatever, but for this, the company was awarded an Academy Scientific and Technical Award. WarGames was the first mass-consumed visual representation of dial-up remote computer access, and it served as both a vehicle and framework for America's earliest discussion of the technology. In the wake of the film, major news media focused on the potential for the WarGames scenario to exist in reality, blending fantasy and reality. Like, this is how you're programmed through this stuff. This focus contributed to the creation of the first U.S. federal internet policy, the Counterfeit Access Device and Computer Fraud and Abuse Act of 1984. Hilarious that it's 1984. So they literally use this movie. It's the direct catalyst cause of the first internet surveillance acts. And then there's all this wacky stuff with Reagan the actor. President Reagan, a family friend of Lasker's. Where did Lasker and Parks come from? Popped up out of nowhere with this huge movie with full funding from the military. And President Reagan, a family friend of Lasker's, watched the film and discussed the plot with members of Congress. Like, are you fucking kidding me? What kind of cartoon are we fucking living in? his advisors, and the Joint Chiefs of Staff. He watched the film and discussed the plot with members of Congress, his advisors, and the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Reagan's interest in the film is credited with leading to the enactment 18 months later of NSDD 145, the first presidential directive on computer security. His interest in the film is credited with this. Martin Brest was originally hired as director, but was fired after 12 days of shooting because of a disagreement with the producers, and replaced with John Badham. It looked like they were doing some Nazi undercover thing, so it was my job to make it seem like they were having fun and that it was exciting. So the original director is shooting it like it's some Nazi undercover thing, and they can't have that. So they yank him and bring him the Saturday Night Fever good time guy, play ball director. It's because that's what it is, some Nazi undercover thing. That's what all these programs, underground base shit is. The Genius, which I guess was their original script, began its transformation into WarGames when Parks and Lasker met Peter Schwartz from the Stanford Research Institute. This reminds me of Aaron Schwartz. Schwartz made the connection between youth, computers, gaming, and the military. Aaron Schwartz, that hacker kid who copied some library materials and got railroaded by the federal government and committed suicide. Stanford is all tied in with the MK Ultra projects. International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees Local 44, Death and Destruction. They created the Whopper prop, the computer. Check this out. These are both great. Falcon was inspired and named after Stephen Hawking, which I fucking knew when I watched the movie. With the appearance of John Lennon, who was interested in the role but was murdered in New York while the script was in development. This is just way too loopy to even untangle, but they got John Lennon supposed to play Falcon based on Stephen Hawking. Like, how many script elements can you cram all together into one fucking Wikipedia article? We got some wires crossed here. They're having a big champagne party. They're all clanging glasses and shit. Oh, congratulations! The Mark David Chapman project went off without a hitch. Oh my god, I thought that was next year. No, congratulations. We just did it today. Oh my god, he was supposed to be in WarGames. Ah, fuck. Who are we gonna get to play Stephen Hawking now? God, I thought that was next year when we were doing the Mark David Chapman project. He was supposed to be played by John Lennon. You can't make this shit up. Okay, and we got the locked in Rotten Tomatoes, just like new Star Wars. 93% based on 42 views, and with an average rating of 7.63 out of 10. Why would there only be 42 reviews on Rotten Tomatoes of WarGames? Like, you fucking kidding me? There's a reason. And look, Metacritic, exactly the same. Weighted average score of 77, between 7 and 8. 7.6, 77. It's almost exactly the same. Out of 100, based on 15 critics. So Rotten Tomatoes has 42 reviews. Metacritic has 15, locking it in at a 77. They want it locked in at 77 for whatever reason. There's also some reason why. Look at the Rotten Tomatoes one. An approval rating of 93% with an average rating of 7.63. Well, if the rating is 93%, it should be 9.3 out of 10, not 7.63 out of 10. I think this is just done to fool with the numbers for whatever reason. 77, 15, 555, the note number, reference number 17, 7th prime. I don't know. Written by Lawrence Lasker and Walter F. Parks. Lasker and Parks. Who is Lawrence Lasker? First, when their credits show on the scene, look at this, CA1. But it's just like CIA. Right above, right when it shows Lasker and Parks. Underground base, CIA. Up top, 10-5. It's like the 1.5 or the 15. Lawrence Lasker entered American film in 1983 as writer of the movie WarGames. Out of nowhere, huge box office smash, huge budget, military involvement movie. Grandfather, paternal grandfather was businessman Albert Lasker. Friends with Ronald Reagan, remember that? Attended Yale University, as did his father. And so did Parks. We'll do Parks in the next video. So let's look at who is Albert Lasker. Who is his grandfather? Albert Lasker was an American businessman who played a major role in shaping modern advertising. Modern advertising. You're going to see as we go through Albert Lasker, a Duchy of Germany, and his story is some kind of like parallel mirror of the Bernays story. This is like a stock archetype story. They'll say all the same things about this guy as they say about Edward Bernays. Okay, he was born in 1880. It says he was raised in Galveston, Texas, where his father was the president of several banks. So he was born in 1880. Before that, his father was president of several banks. So if you're the president of several banks and before 1880, you're a special family. You're coming out of the reset with stuff. You're an heir to the reset. His father was the president of several banks back before 1880. Moving to Chicago, he became a partner in the advertising firm of Lord and Thomas. He designed new ways to advertise election campaigns, especially the Warren Harding campaign of 1920, and became a philanthropist. We all know what philanthropy means. It means rich people don't pay taxes. Lasker was an early owner of the Chicago Cubs baseball team. Bread and Circus. They're always going to be into these same things. Bread and Circus. Credited with moving the Cubs to Wrigley Field. The National Golf Review, he owns golf courses. Something's getting weird with the golf courses. They cover shit up with golf courses. National Golf Review in 1939 rated the Lasker golf courses number 23. 23. Down below, June 9th, 1921, President Harding's appointment of Lasker as chairman of the United States Shipping Board was confirmed by the U.S. Senate. If you look all the way at the bottom, he had no previous experience in the shipping business before his appointment. Okay? The symbols and the leaders change, but the game stays the same. Same as it is today. No experience in the shipping business. Chairman of the United States Shipping Board. This is Lasker's grandfather. The 23s, 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 2 over 3, 666, all over and over again in this article about Lasker. He inherited a large mess with over 2,300 ships under shipping board control, losing money every day. His accomplishments, including the refitting of the SS Leviathan for passenger service, as well as originating ship-to-shore telephone services. So Albert Lasker was the originator of ship-to-shore telephone service. Are you fucking kidding me? So these are these reset dudes. They got the tech, whatever. They got the bread. They got the connections. true to his word, ended his service in office on July 1st, 1923. Okay, again with the numbers that worked their way in here. When Lord retired in 1903, 1, 9, 10, 13. He purchased the firm in 1912, 1, 9, 10, 11, 13. At the age of 32, the backwards 23. 13, 13, 23. 13 is the sixth prime. Lasker, known as the father of modern advertising, which I thought was Bernays, but it's this guy now. Lasker devised the copywriting blah, 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 blah. So he introduces psychology to advertising. It says, just like Bernays, his big thing is getting women to smoke. Women seldom smoked cigarettes. He told them if they smoked Lucky Strikes, they could stay slender. Not only revolutionized the advertising industry, but also significantly changed popular culture, just like his grandson, Lawrence Lasker and Albert Lasker. These just straight up lodge shit. Gang shit. Okay, second portion. Lasker had an inquiring mind about what advertising was and how it worked. In 1904, he met John E. Kennedy. Are you kidding me? You just add one more little line to the F. John F. Kennedy, John E. Kennedy. What? There's some weird connection there. A former Canadian mounted policeman who had entered advertising. A police who entered advertising. Interesting. So he just hooks up randomly with this, just some random Canadian mounted policeman named John E. Kennedy, who provides him with this big insight, this big breakthrough of using psychological manipulation techniques in advertising. Okay, look down the bottom. The relationship lasted for 17 years. Lasker helped create America's infatuation with orange juice. Orange juice, 33. You guys, that's what orange is. It's the only number that's 33. The only color that's 33, I'm sorry. This is unfucking believable. The last thing. Look at this. Look at the very bottom. Unfucking real. Among Lasker's pioneering contributions was the introduction into public schools of classes that explained to young girls about puberty and menstruation, done to promote Kotex tampons. Like, he checks every box. The destruction of the family unit, sexualizing children, like the whole fucking thing. Smoking, advertising, brainwashing. He is also credited as the creator of the soap opera genre. Are you fucking kidding me? This guy's the creator of soap operas, the genre of soap operas, and using radio and television as media driven by advertising. The biography written about this guy is The Man Who Sold America, like the man who sold the world. Lasker was stricken with bipolar at age 27, 999. Footnote 21, 777. Alright, that's going to be it. Keep for the first part of this. In the next one, we're going to look at Walter Parks. And we're going to keep going with who are Lasker and Parks. Where did these guys come from?